Hello, this is Cindy with Team Bucket List American Travel Bureau, and we have Dave with Exotica. So let's kind of get to know him a little bit.
Hey,
So,
Cindy.
Dave Hoshin, he's been in the travel industry for numerous years with positions at the Jamaica Tourist Board, Travel Impressions, American Express Vacations, Europe Express, and he is currently the Director of Sales West at Exotica. So, welcome to our team call and take it away.
Thank you, Cindy. Thanks for having me on. Hey, everyone.
And
So what
everyone,
I'm
you
gonna,
have to be mute until the end where we open up for questions.
I'm gonna go through the presentation. We'll have time for questions after. We'll do a quick review of the booking tool, but I really want to encourage you to use the training that we have set up, and I'll show you some of that right now. So that's me. We have Andrea, we have Josefina. They're based in Barcelona, and they'll have a training schedule, which it's in my email signature for the training link. So you can just click that, set up your own training, your own day, your own time, and everything's good to go. One thing you should know about us is that even though we're in Barcelona, and for me, they're 8 or 9 hours ahead, they're working until 6 p.m. Pacific time. So it's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Right. So whatever part of the country you're in, you can get help. You can talk to them, give them a call. You can work with us. Mostly we want you to use the booking engine because 95% of the stuff's there. But let's get into the presentation. So this is a cool little video. Gonna get you in the mood.
See them every day. They are on our wallpapers. Idyllic and predetermined landscapes. Places so incredible that they even seem unreal. The more we look at them, the more unattainable they seem to become. Maybe that's why we cover them up with folders, documents, and trash cans, creating a barrier between our daily routine and the dream of leaving it behind. Until one day you discover that this unimaginable place, which has always been on the other side of the screen, is just a click away.
So now you kind of get a feeling for what Exotica does. Right. So it goes to all these exotic places that people think about. Cindy and I joke about the bucket list. That's what we're doing. We're taking you on some really cool vacations. So a little bit about the company. We started in 2013 in Barcelona, Spain, as a company that was set up to send people on holidays. So they were selling to the consumer. The company today sells 78 countries, 300 plus different itineraries around the world. But remember, I said that we started as a consumer company. Today, we're selling in the US market for people to go away, Canada, the UK, Germany, France, Spain, and Latin America. So that's Colombia and Mexico primarily. All those folks from all those countries go on all our trips, 300 plus options, 78 countries around the world. That's what we're doing. And we're sending you on great holidays. This slide's just a little bit about how the company went through. When we started in each country that we sell from, where people go on vacations from. And just one other little thing is we have about 400 employees in the company. So we are spread out all over the world, and we're doing lots of great stuff. I think you're going to enjoy the rest of the presentation as I tell you that you can book a single country tour with us. The shortest ones are 5. On average, it's 9. That's the average day of the trips that people go on. A single country tour, 2 countries together. Some itineraries have 3 and 4 countries together. The longest option we have would be so good if you could sell one of these, you'd be happy as well, is for 29 days. So we have a multi-country tour across Asia for 29 days. So we're selling group tours. We're selling private tours, and we're selling tours for solo travelers. And all of those always have an expert local guide. We're offering you a great price. We're including land, the air, the transfers, the transportation, the activities, your breakfast. Breakfast comes with all the hotels that you book. So as an advisor, we have a little something special for you that the consumer doesn't get because we sell to the consumer as well, like many tour companies. But as an advisor, you can book land only. You can do some other cool stuff like 48-hour hold, multiple payment splits. We send payment links. We send all that stuff to you. And remember, the pricing that you see is real prices. So what do we do? What does our package include for your private or your small group tours? So your package includes air. You can choose from economy light, basic economy fares, all the way up to business, first class, premium seats, all of that. You can get that with us. Your package includes your hotel. So a lot of tour companies only offer you one option for a hotel, one category for a hotel. We offer 3, 4, or 5-star. You pick the one the customer likes. We're offering and including the local knowledgeable expert guides that are there to assist you for your trip. So our activities, the full program is crafted to maximize your experience, but it's built in with leisure time. Not everyone wants to start at 7:30 in the morning and end at 8 o'clock at night. Most people want to get up in the morning and get off to a regular start, breakfast at 7, leaving at 8, 8:30. You go off on a tour, you're tied up most of the day, but you have some time for yourself. You have some time to hang out with the people that you met on the bus. You have some time to go out and explore and have dinner on your own. You have some time to go shopping. You have time to have a coffee by yourself or with your friends, right? When I travel, I like to be busy, but I also like time just to, maybe I'm tired that day, just take a nap or whatever, you know? I don't always want to be go, 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 go all the time. So that's how our tours work, generally speaking. So you can book, when you book with us, you can book a private tour. And what is a private tour? A private tour can be 2 people. It can be 4 people. It can be 20 people because you built a group. So a group is also a private tour. And by private, you get your own guide, your own transportation. You're not with other people. What happens most of the time, though, is that you book into our small group departures. And our small group departures, it could be 6 people, depending on where you are. It could be 20 to 30 people, depending on the time of year and what kind of tour you're on. But our average number is about 20 people. If you are booking a group, meaning that that's your business and you build groups out, that starts at 5 rooms with 10 adults. And if you're really good at doing groups and you got your business ideas and acumen and database under control, if you get 10 people, 10 rooms, 20 people, you get 1 free person, a tour conductor credit. So if you did this and you can want to travel with the group and you've got 20 people in 10 rooms, you go free on the land. You have to pay for your own air to get there. If you're building 20 people, but you're working with someone and they're doing all the work for you to find all the people and you want to give them that credit, you can give them that credit. Right? So we can talk about that later if you have any questions. So when you're on tour, we have different touring styles. Just want to point out up front that everyone gets met at the airport unless you book land only. If you book land only, you got to find your way from the airport to the hotel. But if you're booking a full package, everyone gets met at the airport, get taken to your hotel. So there's 3 types of tours, generally speaking. The first one is escorted. And escorted tours happen primarily in a certain part of the world. We like to call that the Middle East. So if you're going to Egypt, Israel, Turkey, Jordan, Morocco, some places like that, in that part of the world, those tours are going to be escorted. And what that means is you have 1 primary person for the whole trip. And that person is probably likely staying in the hotel that you're staying in. If you're in Egypt, in the Nile, like I was, and we're on the riverboat, our guide, our escort, Mohammed, he was on the boat with us. He was in a hotel with us. He was around all the time. The second touring style is guided, and this is 95% of what happens. So guided, you get met at the airport, you go to your hotel, your itinerary says they're going to meet you at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning. The bus comes to the hotel, it picks you up, it takes you out on tour, you're gone all day. You might get back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, let's say, and then you're on your own. The next day, the bus comes to the hotel, picks you up again, and you go off on touring. If you're in a big city like Santiago, Chile, I was in not long ago, day one, I just explained to you. Day two, the guy comes again. Day three, they pick you up at the hotel, they take you to the airport, they put you on a plane because you got to fly to a different city. All right. So that's guided. When you get to the other end, there's a guide over there waiting for you, and you proceed with the tour. When we were in Egypt, Mohammed took us to the airport, flew us to a different city. He was on the plane with us. When we get off at the other end, the bus was waiting. He took us on the bus, and then we continued the tour. See the difference right there? So there's one other way to tour, and this is closer to what some people call FIT, free independent travel. These are self-guided tours. These are for your independent traveler. Not everyone wants to do this, but if people are comfortable, if they're confident, if they're independent, you can go on a guided, self-guided tour. A self-guided tour, what would be a good example? Let's say you go to the Vatican. You can get a guided tour of the Vatican, and they put the headsets on, and you walk around and you follow the guide. The guide tells you everything. You can get a guided tour at the farmers market in Barcelona, right? Or you can just show up at the Vatican, pay your ticket, you walk in, and you walk around by yourself. You can go to the museum in Egypt and walk in and walk around by yourself, but nobody explains it to you. If your client is on a self-guided trip in Japan, they got to find their way to where the tour starts. Then they find their way back to the hotel. After that, they're on their own. So escorted, guided, self-guided. One of the cool things that you have, one of the perks that we talked about that consumers don't get that you have, is a 48-hour hold. So you can go in, look up things on the booking tool on the portal, figure out a quote for a customer, put a hold on it for 48 hours, review it with the customers. If they don't like it, you can make changes, 48-hour hold, they review it again, and then they go on deposit. Their first deposit's always 60% down. Let's talk about commissions. I like to call it your paycheck. Commissions are on all components of the trip, and I'll give you an example of why that's important. Most airline tickets, about 20% of the ticket is taxes, fees, and surcharges. So let's say you're making a booking. The client's going on a long trip. They want premium seats. That premium seat is $4,000. And this is a real example because I did this when I went to Egypt. I bought a premium seat for $4,300. Air France sends me the ticket. They send me the breakdown of the ticket. $1,200 off the $4,000 was taxes and surcharges. At Exoticca, because you build that into a package, we pay you on the entire package. Most other companies, including the ones that I worked at, they wouldn't pay you commission on published air. They would pay you commission on contracted air. Some might pay 3%, some might pay 5%. With us, you don't have to worry about it. Whatever your commission is what you get paid based on the cost of the package. Which means that on average, if you look at the airline ticket, 20% of a sizable number for an upper level ticket is a lot of money you're leaving on the table if you use some other companies. Me personally, I would use a company where you get paid more. That's just me. So we pay commissions when the client travels 30 days after travel. unless you're on the instant commission program, which means that we pay commissions at the first deposit of 60%, 30 days after that. And then again, 30 days after the client travel is when the second deposit. I'm not sure which ATB is on. I think they're on 100% after travel. All right, so you want to travel, you want to see what's going on in the world, you want to test drive our product, you get 16% discount. So you have your family wants to go on that trip with you. Some companies said, no, just you. So you have friends that want to go on that trip with you. The 16% you have to be on the trip is for up to 5 people staying in 2 rooms, because you're going to need 2 rooms if it's 4 or 5 of you. So think about that. You can take your family with you on a trip at 16% discount. You can take your friends, your traveling friends with you on a trip for 16% off. You're not limited to 1 time a year. If you want to go 2 times a year, you can go 2 times a year. We have a lot of support. We have 24/7 support that we back you up with your clients and so forth. We talked about the great pricing before. We talked about real-time pricing. So what you see on the booking tool is what you're going to pay, unless you upgrade to the 3, 4, or 5-star hotel, unless you upgrade and add stuff into the package, unless you book a business class ticket, right? So you're going to get great value. There is one thing that's really important, us compared to other tour companies, is that we guarantee departures down to 2 passengers. Remember earlier, I was talking about our small group travel, where our number was on average is 20. If we want 20 people somewhere and we end up with 6, you're going to go on tour. If we end up with 2 people that departure date, you're still going to go on tour. I want you to rest easy on that, because you won't get a phone call. You won't have to tell your clients that, oops, sorry, can you change your vacation date? Oops, sorry, we have to cancel. We know how it is over here. Some companies want you to put your vacation in January and you want to go on holiday in October, right? We know how that goes. Vacation is something that you think about here. Okay, so moving along. You know this already, right? Let's just talk about it again because it's important. 78 countries, 300 plus itineraries. What does it include? You can leave from any departure city in the US. You don't all have to go to LA. You don't all have to go to Texas, to Houston or Dallas. You don't all have to go to Miami. You don't all have to go to New York to catch the tour. Wherever you live, you can get on a plane and go on a tour without finding your way to some main departure gateway. So it's your departure city, any number of people traveling with you. We talked about that, from 2 people all the way to 20 people in a group. You choose your travel dates. It's not locked in 1 day a week or 2 days a month. It's multiple departure in the week, multiple departure weeks in a month. You choose the kind of hotel you want. Not everyone wants a 3-star hotel. Somebody wants a 5-star hotel. Some people don't care where they sit on the plane. A lot of people want to pick their seats and sit where they want to sit, on a window or an aisle or whatever, when they get on that plane, okay? And remember, you can book land only, because people have their credit cards, they have their points. They may not need the air. They might just need the land only. We'll organize all of that for you. Take the head out of figuring out the trip and working all the details. Do the training. Do the training with us. Half an hour to 45 minutes of your time in small groups, 5 to 10 people or so. They'll review the booking engine. We're going to talk about this a little bit, but once you register and you do the training and you set that up, do it, you get a $200 top-up commission, which means that you do the training, you've got $200 waiting for you. You make a booking, you make your regular commission, and then you say, hey, I want to do the top-up, and we give an extra $200 on top of it because you used the top-up. So why not? All right, here's our best sellers. We're selling out of Europe. Spain is popular. Actually, Portugal is our best seller out of Europe. Spain and Italy. Greece is real hot on its heels, though. So all these are great destinations. What other continents do we sell out of? South America. So when I say South America, I'm really including Central America and the Dominican Republic, and Mexico. So our top sellers out of the US is Peru and Ecuador. And by the way, when you're staying in Ecuador, you're staying on island on St. Cristóbal. You're not staying on the ship and shuttling back and forth into the Galapagos. So that's our America's product. Then we have Asia. We have tons of destinations and trips in Asia. Vietnam's the most popular. India is an amazing trip. I was just there not too long ago, a couple months ago. Turkey is an awesome place to go to. You should go there if you can. And then Africa. So Egypt is our best seller in Africa. Kenya is up there. South Africa is our number 4 best-selling destinations out of the US. Morocco is right after that. I see Kenya there, and I want to talk a little bit about Kenya and Tanzania and the safari products. Not South Africa, because South Africa comes with 2 big city tours and then Kruger National Park. I just want to talk about pure safari product. When you look at that product, see that little picture there down on the left with South Africa? You see that Jeep? Those Jeeps are made to take 6 people. When you go on a safari, you're going to be with a Jeep with 6 people because you're on those little tracks. And they're built that way for a reason, and that's to optimize your experience because you're with the animals and you're right there. So here's something that I found out recently. When you're on that Jeep, the lions look at you and they don't see you, they see the Jeep. The minute you step off the Jeep, guess what they see? Dinner. You become just like any other animal out there. Suddenly, you're something that they can take on. But when you're on that Jeep, they just see the Jeep as a unit. So my advice to you is stay on the Jeep. We talked about this and how it works, the components that all go into travel. And we've got a lot of complicated things that built into a package that your customers go on. And rest assured, you're getting full commission on the entire package. So now that you're along with Exoticca, you like using us, you like booking, and you made one booking, you end up in our first tier on the booking partner reward program. And you book a couple of groups, and now you're at 50,000, you make an extra $500 bonus. And then every time you make a booking, you get an extra $50. So imagine that you love Exoticca and business is going real good, and you booked $250,000 in a year. We send you a $2,000 one-time milestone commission. And you make every booking and you get $150 on top of your regular commission every time you make a booking. So if you can build your business, if you've got that kind of business and you can feed it all into one place and focus on one partner, this is a good program to be in. It's pretty rewarding in my mind. We talked about the advisor rates. Let's talk about how you book a group with us. So everyone's into social media. I see y'all on Facebook and doing all of that stuff. You know how it works. You put your idea out there and you market it. People come back, they say, hey, I might be interested in going to Argentina. Okay, great. Argentina, Brazil, as a matter of fact. Let's do that. Wonderful. So now you come to Dave, you come to Exoticca, you say, hey, I got 18 people, but I want a quote for 20 because I want the tour conductor. Give me a quote, please. And I give you the quote, and that's called day 1. You have 30 days to go back to your 18 people, to get 20 people, to get 22 people. You say, hey, here's my price. What do you think? Think about it for a couple weeks. The 3rd week you come back, and by the end of the month, everyone goes on deposit. because you need to lock that the rate, that quote in, right? So you need to do that by day 31, $250 per person. So now you have day 32 to day 120. Get them all excited, get everything going, make sure they're dead certain about what they're doing, because now they have to go on deposit to 60% of the trip. That's on day 120. That's a non-refundable deposit. They have to be serious, because once they put that money down, it's non-refundable. So everyone's happy. And now it's 60 days, 2 months before departure. They have to pay for the trip in full. And then we go into confirmations and all of this other stuff and so on and so forth. What the groups department does, you can get links for different people to pay down payments. They can pay you, and then you can pay us. However you figure it out, you can figure it out. But they're there to work with you, and they'll explain the process, and you can just move forward from there. If you're selling groups, here's what I recommend. I say Portugal, Ireland, Egypt, Morocco, South Africa is good for doing groups. Our #1 and #2 best sellers, Peru and Ecuador, they're great for doing groups. India is a fantastic country for doing groups. In fact, when I was there, it was more of an escorted tour. Great place to see. Namibia is good and Dubai is good. People come and they go, oh, I want to do a group to Costa Rica. We have a hard time working groups in Costa Rica. Part of that is limited resources. Hotels are small. Part of that is the way the destination works and so forth. Yeah. So anyhow, we will put in the quote and we'll tell you if we can manage the group for you or not. And keep me in the loop. I like to know what's going on. I like to be able to help you. I like to be able to give you some advice if needed, right? So that's why I'm here, is to build a business, build your business with you. When you log into the booking engine, it's going to have a marketing link where you can get all the marketing tools. And I'll show that to you. If you're into Facebook and cross-referencing and you guys know how it works, you can join our Facebook group. You can have us into your stuff like I'm into your group and so forth, all right? So it's all about connections as far as social media is concerned. Every customer that travel with us, we're going to ask you for their passport names, their passport numbers, all of that good stuff. We're also going to ask you for their email for one reason and one reason only. It's so they can get the app. We're going to email them and send them information on how to download the app. And once you have the app, you have the whole itinerary, all the contact information, all of that's on the phone, and the phone is in your pocket or your pocketbook. And people love the app because it's all right there. They don't have to pull out a bunch of paper to read where they're going next. Everything's right there for you. The cool part about it is I have 2 trips on my apps and I forget the name of a city where I went to or the flow of the itinerary because it's been a while. I just open the phone, pull up the app, and open up the app, and I can see it right there. All right, so it's kind of like a diary, a diary of your trip. So we have a policy at Exoticca where when you go on deposits, if crazy stuff happens, you end up with a credit. We also have a policy where we don't recall commissions. So we pay you a commission, we never come back to you and say, hey, you need to give this back to us because the person canceled. If we keep the money, you keep the commission. So we give credits, and that's how we're able to have a no commission recall policy. Okay. So the customer gets a fair deal, you get a fair deal, you do all the work, you still make your commission. The customer gets a credit. We have this thing we call the wallet. We put it in their wallet and they have the credit, and it just sits there until they want to use it. It doesn't expire. They can use it over and over. They can use it multiple times. They can use it on one big trip. They can use it and add to the trip. They can do all kinds of stuff, right? So they'll have that there. So we also have premium care. This is not insurance. Everyone gets this. It's just something that comes with the package. It's not insurance. At best, it goes into a credit. And I highly recommend that you sell insurance to the client because they might want to go on the trip and they just step poorly one day and sprain their ankle and then it's swollen and they can't go. Or one of the kids gets sick, or this, or that, or anything. If you have insurance, sell the insurance, right? Our stuff is a waiver. Remember, it's not an insurance. It's going to end up with a credit. If the customer is interested in getting money back and all this other stuff, that's what the insurance is for. Okay, so take a picture here, depending on where in the US that you live. This is the sales team across the country. When I started, there was 5 of us between the USA and Canada. And now there's 8 of us in the US alone. The sales team is about 15 or 16 people today. So we're growing fast and we love that you're supporting us and doing webinars and things like this. So have you seen this one yet? I love this video. Check it out.
Yeah, that's me. And this is the moment when I saw my life flashing before my eyes and realized I had to live more. Aisha. They had a plan. They put you in the chair, make you director, and tell you, go. Oh, wow. Look at this. I was stunned. But deep inside, I knew there had to be more. You're in charge, you're the boss. You're the director. It has to be wilder. Can you bring it up greater? Magnificent! I really want my wife to see this. Bring in his wife. More romantic. It has to be more epic. What do you wish for? That it's affordable. Boys just having a bit of an adventure. Yes, I know, Mummy. Yes, we miss you too. Exoticca. Exoticca, Mummy. This is what I want to see flashing before my eyes. That was extraordinary.
Extraordinary vacations at affordable prices. Our average client is about 50. Our average trip is about 9 days. And the average amount of money they spend is $6,000. And you can go and do some really amazing stuff, bucket list things. Okay, so
Open up
any
for
questions?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, you said average cost of a 9-day trip was $6,000, and it says that's the flight included?
Yeah, international air.
Okay, so my question is, since flights usually don't come out to like 10 months prior to time to travel, are you saying that that's the time frame, or are you giving a longer time frame, or it has to be within like the 10 months, 8 months time frame before your trip?
On the booking tool, you can book 11 months in the future, which is when the airlines release the schedule. And the price you see will be guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, the schedule you see would be guaranteed. And of course, the price is there, whatever price you end up at for the booking. You can book 14 months in the future. Exotica will guarantee the price, but we can't guarantee the schedule.
The schedule and meaning what we're gonna do or the
No,
flight?
the schedule of the airline schedule.
Okay, okay.
We can't guarantee that because the airline hasn't released that yet, yeah?
Okay, so are you giving based on an average? Is that how you plan it, or you
No,
just
so if you
land
look
on
up if you look up a trip and the trip is $5,300 and the trip is 15 months in the future and it's XYZ airline and it leaves San Francisco and it connects through Houston and it goes to Costa Rica, and that's the schedule today. But 14 months in the future, it might not leave San Francisco to Houston. It might leave San Francisco to Dallas Fort Worth and then into Costa Rica. Or it might go San Francisco to LA, LA to Mexico City to Costa Rica. What we can't tell you is what the airline is going to, how the airline's going to route it, but we can guarantee you the price is going to be the same.
okay. So
So
you
if you want to take that chance with us, we'll work with you. But I want you to know that we can't guarantee the same schedule. Because if you go to the client and you say, oh, it's going to be a 12-hour trip, it's 6 hours to here, a 2-hour layover, and then the rest of it into the destination, I can't guarantee that part. But I
okay,
can guarantee the same price.
okay. I don't think we would be more that concerned about that part. We'd be more concerned about the price. So
Yeah, yeah.
and getting there.
But
Um,
I'm going to show you the booking tool now. And let me see, I can make this bigger. I'm gonna share my screen again. This one, I guess. How does that look? Y'all can see this? The booking engine? Maybe I should put it over here. How does that look? Y'all can see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. All right, so this is the general booking engine. When you go to exotica.com, this is what you're gonna see. And a lot of marketing, a lot of different things to look at. We just launched the whole new family program. This is new for us. If you went here, you could see the family collection. You could see by interest, by season, and so forth, right? This right here, when you go here and you want to log in, if you click this, you're a travel advisor, you want to click that. Gonna log in. And then I'm in the advisor portal now. How do I know I'm in here? Because it says advisor profile with my name and so forth. Remember I told you that the marketing resources are in here? If you click that, you go to the library, you see current offers. Every month we have a different offer. Some months we might have 2, 3 different things. You can see that right here. If you want to do the booking engine training, you can do it here, but it's not with a live person, it's recorded. If you own an agency, here's where you go, you fill in your stuff. If you are booking with us regularly and you want to track your rewards, there's that thing I showed you from before. It's got question and answers and so on. You can go look at that when you have a minute. I'm gonna go back one. If you have made bookings and you want to see your commissions, here are some bookings, the numbers, dates, and so forth, the amounts, was canceled, whatnot. They might be active, might not be active, whatever the story is. If you want to see your past bookings, simply go here. It's going to open up the page. This is when you do the 48-hour hold. See, it says 42 hours left. This one was canceled. If they're active, it would say all of that for you. But we want to show you how to make a booking, which is this one. So you're going to click that. and it brings you back to the first page that we started at, right? Before we logged in. But now you know we're logged in, see that right there. So we're gonna go destinations. If we click Africa, you see that there's 55 options. You can pick the country that you want. The Americas, you see there's 60 different tours, all the countries listed here. Bet you guys didn't know we sold the US. We need to get some more. We'll fill this out eventually. But here's all the things in the Americas, Central America and South America. If you're interested in Asia, this is how you do it. Europe, a lot of things, 109. We're heavy on Europe. And if you want to go to Australia, New Zealand, and I hear that we're working on Fiji and Tahiti. But let's just wait till it gets there. So anyone have a continent that you're interested in looking at?
France.
France.
Europe.
Hey, you know what? I just thought of something because remember how I was saying that we do private tours and we give the options of 3, 4, and 5-star hotels? I want to show that to you because that's the most complicated thing that you can do in the booking tool. And I want to show it to you using let's do our number one seller. Let's do Peru. So this is our number one seller. It's right now we have a 50% off. We always have something going on. This first one that you see is going to be our best seller. It's always the first one. But if you scroll through it, you'll see combination tours, 19 days, Peru, Ecuador, Peru in 10 days, Peru in 13 days, Peru in 16 days, and so forth, right? They all have something slightly different about them. And you can see that right here. They're all a little bit different. And the prices are something to look at.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so these prices include air?
These prices are what?
Include air?
Yeah.
And what star hotel is this?
All right. So let's look at it. This one is pretty inexpensive, okay? So let's look at this one. 9 days. People don't have a lot of time, so they want 9-day trip. You select that one. All you do is click on See Trip. And my internet is a lot slower than the one on TV. The ones on TV are amazingly fast. So once this loads, you're going to see where it has the option for departure city. It's going to show you the calendar that you can pick the dates that you want. It's going to show you solo travelers. It's going to show you pictures. So this is Prime Day. All right, look at this. The price is $1,199. Let's just say $1,200. That's easy to remember. $1,200. Look at this. Here's all the cities you go to. Here's what's included. All your air, international air, your accommodations, your transfers, all the activities, and breakfast with any hotel that you pick. For $1,200, if you had someone who was a solo traveler, 1,200 plus 240, 1,440, you immediately know if that person is going to go for that. Charm, we start with a Charm hotel for 1,200 per person. If you added a Superior hotel, it's $200 extra. So Superior is a 4-star hotel.
And would we be able to find out the name of that hotel?
Oh yeah. So you immediately know pricing, yeah? It gives you a good idea. This plus that. 1,200, you want luxury? Extra $600 a person. That's still 1,700. That's under $2,000 per person to go to Peru for 10 days, 7 nights in the destination. You immediately know what your customer can afford or not afford, and you can upsell upsell, and let them say, hey, it's a little bit high. Then you come down to the superior. In fact, I wouldn't even sell the charm. I would just sell the superior because it's not much more for the week, $200 more per person. Remember, I was talking about private tours versus our small groups departure. And by the way, in Peru, our group is 16 people max. So if you want to go on your own, private with your own guide, you can choose a charm hotel with your own guide for $400 more per person. $800 for 2 people for the week or for the 9 days. You see how it's easy to understand what you're getting, and it's easy to explain to your clients what you're delivering to them. So I live in Oakland. It remembers I live in Oakland. But if I click that, I can pull down all these cities. And if you don't see it here, it doesn't mean that we can't get it for you. That's when you need to call us. So I'm going to use Los Angeles just for example. So while it takes its time, it loads up the calendar. All right, I'm not going to change anything here. I'm just going to leave it as is. Some tour companies have 2 departures, 3 departures, 4 departures a month. We're looking at October 24. Look at how many departures we have in October 2024. Let's say we pick this one. But before we do that, let me scroll down here a little bit. Again, to review the categories: charm, superior, luxury, charm private, superior private, luxury private. Luxury means you get your own guide and your own transportation. Someone asked about what the hotel is. This would be the 3-star hotel. But if you chose this one, it would give you the picture of the superior hotel. I recommended that we just use that because it's $200 more per person. So when you look at this thing, it shows you this. You do see details. Day 1, you're flying. Day 2, you get to Lima. Here's your hotel. Gives you the TripAdvisor review, so you can do that more, or you can open a different browser and look it up on your own. 3rd day, you get this. This is included in your tour, and these are optional. So your customer's there, and you know that they're going to go out for dinner. You know they're going to do a museum because they go all the way down there. Let's just sell them the museum, add it in there, add in the dinner because they're going to have dinner somewhere. It's nice that you just set it up for them. You explain it to them. It's all taken care of. You can add these things in if you want to. You don't have to. Over here, day 1, day 2, day 3, this is included. Here's one thing that's not included in these tours. You get the train ride and the regular seats, or you can upgrade to this one with the panoramic view. I would just upgrade it to this with the panoramic view. Here's your hotel. You're at altitude. How high is this thing? 11,000, 14,000 feet? So you're up here and you're at Machu Picchu. You're having a good old time. More days to come. Half-day tour of Cusco. You see how we have it set up? Any questions around this?
We have 2 questions, one Judy and one Chris, and then we have 7 minutes before we close out the call.
Okay, so what's Judy's and Chris's question?
Hey, Dave, thank you for all your assistance in the past. I was wondering if you have a client in destination and they decide that they want to book optional excursions. Will you still pay commission if they book in destination?
No, you have to build that into the package to begin with. If they get there and they're just talking to folks and they hear about things, or it might have come up with the guide or something, and the guide said, yeah, I can get that for you, then they would pay that person directly. And we have no way of tracking that, right? So,
Okay,
you
so
know what I
at
mean?
what point, like, can they book their trip and then decide before they leave to book additional excursions?
Yeah. Remember
Before-
that we start confirming things 60 days before travel. So you might want to try and get that done before their final deposit or just shortly after their final payment, 60 days. Maybe if it's a week after or something, we can add it in. It depends on where they're going and how things work out. But it's let's just say it's on request, but we'll work with you to try and figure that out.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so someone had a question about the air. Here's the This is how it works. You can go best price, you can go recommended, and you can go premium fares. We only have a couple minutes left, so I encourage you to do the training. And if you clicked on this, it's going to open up its economy. It gives you through Salt Lake City to LA, from LA to Lima. Like I said, I had it set up for Oakland, which is not a great airport because this is what you end up with: double connections, could be triple connections. It says no checked luggage. So this immediately tells me that this is a basic economy ticket, which means that they're gonna have to wait to the airport to check in, wait to the airport to get their seats assigned, pay extra for luggage. I wouldn't book this for a client unless they insist. I would just give them a regular ticket because you know that they're going to want their seat. You know that they're going to complain that they're in the back of the plane. You know they're going to do all of that. So why go through the hassle? Just get them a good airfare to begin with. What was the other question?
Yes, I had a question in reference to, so if it's a group travel, they would all pick the same accommodation. Is that how that
Yeah,
works? Or
that's a great question. So let's say you don't have a group. Let's say you don't, a group for us is 10 people in 5 rooms. Let's say you have 6 people. Okay. Don't book it on one booking. Why? 6 people on one booking means that somebody sprained their ankle, somebody argued with somebody, and they're not going on the trip, and it puts all the other people in jeopardy. We don't want that headache. What you want is to make 3 bookings, and then you call us, you make the bookings, you put the 48-hour hold, you get the booking number, you call us and you say, hey, these are 3 couples, they're best friends, they want to travel together. We want them in the same hotel, we want them on the same flights, we want them on the same bus when they're doing the tour. And that's the important part, is that you let us know so we can tell the people in the destination that these 6 people are best friends. They need to be on the same bus. That's the whole reason that they're going to Peru. And that's how you do it.
Amrpreet.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hi, no problem. Do we help with visa requirements?
Yeah, that we don't do the visas, but there'll be little notes in there where you can do the visa. There's a company I like to look at called Sherpa, like the people who take you up the Himalayas mountains. Sherpa. It covers the government website in the country you're going to. It covers the US State Department rules and so on and so forth. It tells you what visas you need and all of this other good stuff. Generally speaking, refer the client to the US State Department sites so they can see it from an official government agency. It takes the stress off of you. You tell them they need to look at it, and then you can do your magic after that.
Thank you.
LaShonda, do you have a question?
No, I was just gonna ask about getting the information to do the training, but you've already put that in the chat, so I'm good.
I did,
Yeah.
yeah, and also the link to set up. If you go to your Google Sheets at the very top, it'll have your IATA number. But if you do have issues logging in, please give me a call and I'll walk you through it. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to set up the account. Okay. Anything else?
Anyone? I thought you were going to ask me the numbers for the winning lotto ticket because I have it right here.
Well, I want to ask you, what's your number one bucket list with Exotica, since you're with
All
Exotica?
right, so you know what? It's weird. I was dreaming about this like 2 days ago. Dreaming about it. I was trying to puzzle it out in my brain. And my dream was, what were the 7 wonders of the world? And I've been to 2, the Taj Mahal and the Great Pyramids. I want to see the Great Wall of China. What are they again? I want to see the Christ statue in Brazil. I want to see, I've seen the Colosseum, so I've seen 3. Yeah, so it's the statue, it's the Great Wall of China, and I'm stuck. I can't remember the rest.
Well, we'll get it next time. I want to do a shout out to my my co-partner Henri Johnson. She's absolutely amazing on Exotica. So both of us actually will be gone for vacation, so you won't be able to trade with any of us. But we do have Karen, who's based out of the East Coast, so we'll be sending everybody either an email or a text with her number, because we never want to forget our clients when we're on vacation. We want someone to take care of them. So never worry about that. And there's always someone who can take care of you. And of course, if you would please go to Exotica either on Google or Facebook and post a review on how amazing David with Exotica is and how much value he's adding to our company. So
Thank you very much for that.
I'm going to stop the recording.